All right, so we're going to talk about this. We're going to have a discussion. It will be a public chat. It will be open for public, so people can weigh in their opinions. Um, Recently, I have seen the video update regarding a flight simulator coming up on July 27th for the Xbox X and S. And this is from the monthly update that they always do from the Asobo Team. And the questions were all coming from the internet. People were asking questions regarding the performance update that's going to be rolled out at the same time when the Series X and Series S version drops as well. And this performance mode should help utilize some of the issues that we had in past with a certain PC specs and whatnot. But majority of the questions was really about Series S and Series X and what resolution the game's going to run, what performance frames per second we're going to get. Is there going to be a sacrifice on the graphics, etc., etc.? They kind of answered some questions, but they also dodged a lot of the questions. Am I worried? Well, not really, because I understand that this is a very demanding game to be put on the console. And sure, there's going to be some sacrifice made on Series S, particularly Series S. They talk about the Series S version and that the best they can do currently with the Series S GPU and CPU and the memory, it's 1080p. They didn't talk about performance-wise, what frames per second. They didn't talk about, like, did they have to, tone down texture filtering, anti-aliasing, other enhancements, other graphic enhancements. Did they have to tone down some of that stuff? They didn't talk about that. They didn't really go too much into detail, but they gave us a little bit of a hint. They gave us a hint that the Series S version, unfortunately, it's going to be 1080p with HDR upscaled to 4K. Now, 1080p is not the end of the world. It can still look good if it's, upscaled properly to 4K. And that console will do a good job upscaling to 4K, I'm pretty sure. If it's 1080p 60, then that's even better. But we don't know what the performance is going to be. Now, here's what I did, and we'll join in conversation about this. But let me show you what I did on my PC. What's up, John? What's up, Lee? Yeah, I'm open for the chat because I have to. On this one, I need to hear what you guys think about this. Now, let me show you what I did. I'm basically pretending as if, let's say this is the Xbox Series X version, right? Series X version. Here's what I did for the Series X version. Let me show you the settings. Here are my settings for the Series X version that I'm using. I'm trying to mimic based on what I'm hearing from Asobo interview. They had an interview, and based on what I'm hearing, what they were saying about the Series X version, the guy said that he was monitoring a 30 FPS with 1400 source resolution upscale to 4K. So it's not going to be, from what he was saying, this is the guy from Asobo, and if I'm going to take his word for it, why would he lie? I mean, they're developers of this game. Of course, they can change that with an update, whatever. But what he said on that interview was that that they were looking at the scale resolution of 1400. It varies. It goes up and down a little bit. So that's telling me it's either a dynamic or checkerboard. Most likely dynamic resolution. That's scaling between 1400 to 1600. 30 FPS. So that way the performance, it's not jeopardized. So what I basically did, so unfortunately it's not going to be native 4K. Unfortunately, I know this will be a bad news for some of you who have Series X, and you're going to say, Jesus, man, when are we going to have a console that can handle native 4K? Even Jedi Fallen Order on PlayStation 5, it's not native 4K, but it doesn't matter. The graphics are cranked up. It's not just the resolution, guys. The graphics are cranked up on that PlayStation 5 version, and it looks amazing. However, what I did here, I adjusted my settings based on what this guy was saying. So what I did, I scaled my resolution to... Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. I got a better idea. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Here we go. We're going to do exactly what they did. The output resolution. Stay with me on this, please, guys. I just need you to stay with me. And just pay attention, and you'll understand. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select the 4K TV will help upscale that resolution, but it's not going to help you with the graphics. Graphics is GPU. You got to have a GPU to help you with the graphics, or a memory RAM. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select the output resolution as 3840 by 2160. Just like when your TV and your console, it's outputting a 4K resolution. Okay? All right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to output that resolution. So it's upscaled. We'll keep it at 4K. It's going to show up to 4K right now. Keep changes. Here's what I'm going to change. I'm going to keep rendering resolution at 1440p. So I'm going to do exactly what these guys at Asobo apparently are doing with the Series X. So the output resolution that's outputting it to the television will be 4K. The source resolution of rendering will be 1440p. So this is what the scaling dynamic resolution really is. It's still 4K, but not a true native 4K, because you are rendering the resolution at 1440p. Meaning it's going to upscale. It's going to look better than just being 1440p output resolution. However, it's still not going to be native 4K. And I think this is the technique that they're going to use on Series X. So there's some other things that I changed over here. All right, so stay with me. Okay, remember, this is not native. All right, this is just output. This is just like your television, just like your console. It's upscaling. So basically, this is your source native resolution rendering. This is your native rendering resolution. And this native rendering resolution, 1440p, needs to be upscaled to fill in that output resolution. To, it's kind of like taking 1440p, let's say taking a 1440p and just dissecting that 1440p and then multiplying that 1440p to catch up to 8.3 million pixels. So it's going to be filled in and upscaled to 3840, 2160. So this is what's commonly known as if you want to call it dynamic resolution, call it dynamic. It's a scaling resolution, basically. This is a technique that a lot of these developers are using. Okay, they're scaling the resolution, but they're telling you it's a 4K, but it's not really a 4K. You know. So let's see how it looks. I also changed some other things over here, as you can see. I moved my anisotropic filtering to 4 times. Texture super sampling, I moved it to 2 times. I also moved my anti-aliasing to FXAA, okay, which is a fast approximate, provides a lower quality, so it's not using too much of my computing power. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to keep that performance 60 FPS. Hypothetically, okay, let's say it's going to stay at 30. Okay, let's just, for the sake of the argument, let's say on a console it's going to be 30 FPS. But for the sake of the argument here, it's going to be 60. So what I'm basically doing here, I'm also removing terrain level of detail to 85%. And I'm also moving the object level of detail down to 90. So what I'm doing here, I'm trying to keep performance intact by removing some texture enhancements, some graphical enhancements, and using a scaling rendering resolution of 1440p with the output resolution of 4K. And remember, don't get confused. We are not at native 4K because we're not outputting the source rendering resolution of native. This would have to be native to match the output native resolution here. I hope you guys are keeping up with this. You know, Digital Foundry, you know, goes through this all the time, and they talk about it. But I hope that people understand this is a technique. When we talk about dynamic resolution, when we talk about checkerboarding, when we talk about these different techniques that was being used in PlayStation 4 Pro, and those same techniques, unfortunately, are still being used on the next generation consoles, PS5, Series X, Series S. But is this a bad thing? I don't think so. And you will see that it's really not that bad. Here, I'll show you. Let's go back. Here we go. It's 30 FPS, but it's smooth. It's smooth. See? It's smooth. Let's go to cockpit. It's 30 FPS, but it's smooth. It's upscaled to 4K. But guess what? It's smooth. It's steady 30 FPS. So I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. A lot of people are complaining and saying that, Mr. 4K, but it's not a native 4K. I'm like, hey, son, listen to me. Even powerful computers, even 3080s are having a difficult time keeping it at 60 at the high-end settings, at the ultra settings. Even 3090 Ti, it's having a difficult time. This is a very demanding piece of software, very demanding game, and I think this is not a bad deal. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Well, there's a lot of things you don't need, honestly. Because when you're watching from afar, you're not going to notice the jagged edged lines. Look, the only way for you to notice a jagged edged lines is if I do this. Here, I'm going to have to pause this. Talos, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. But the only way for you to see the jagged edged lines, I would have to do what you see, like right here. I would have to use the magnifying glass. that the Digital Foundry is using. And this is where a lot of you, and I blame Digital Foundry for this, because they like to use that magnifying glass to make you think, oh my God, I shouldn't be playing this game on this system, or I shouldn't be enjoying this game on that system. Dude, you're going to be sitting 7 feet away from your TV. You're not going to notice this jagged edged line. You're not going to notice it. You're not going to see it, especially if you're using a pretty good picture settings, calibrated picture settings. You're not going to notice that jagged edged lines, or that, what you call it, vegetation that's missing on the ground, right? So a lot of you get obsessed with these numbers and these, little technical graphical details, but it's really not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'm telling you right now. I would love to sit down here with Richard, to have a conversation with Richard, and even he would say, yeah, I understand we're a technical channel. We want to, approach technicality of the graphics and resolution, but you are right. When people are sitting 7 feet away, they're not gonna tell a difference. Hey, what's up, Extreme Gaming? How you doing, bro? Welcome back. Good morning, JS. How are you? So, are you gonna get the Series X? I saw your comment. Are you gonna get the Series X? Did you order it? So right now we're doing 30 FPS. Why we are at 30 FPS? Because we used 1440p scaling resolution, and the output resolution, it's 4K. So technically this is like a checkerboard Series X version at 30 FPS. But we're not sacrificing on the performance, and you're going to see that in a minute. Here, I'm going to show you that we're not sacrificing on the performance. You're going to see in a minute here. Here, you're going to see that the performance is fine. You know what? Even Series S is not that bad. Look, man, if I couldn't afford Series X and I only had a Series S, bro, I would have no issues playing Flight Simulator on Series S. Dude, I've been playing a bunch of games on Series S. Series S is pretty good, man. Excellent upscaling, HDR, Dolby Vision, 120 Hz refresh rate, VIR, variable refresh rate. No loading time, NVMe solid state drive, keeps it very cool for $300. Come on, man, for $300. Let's get real. Plus you get to play this game. You get to play Halo Infinite. You get to play Forza Horizon 5, included with the Game Pass Ultimate. You get to play Madden and all. I mean, you get to play everything. Lee Brune, well, there you go, man. Congratulations. As you can see, 30 FPS, it's not that bad. I think it was you, Extreme Gaming, that told me, hey, we don't need 60 FPS. 30 FPS is just fine. It's just fine. For this game. This is not a Call of Duty. It's not a Battlefield. This is fine. And I know, I heard already people are complaining, oh, it's going to be locked at 30 FPS. Some checkerboard resolution. Why did I buy the Series X? And you know what I say to people? Why don't you try and buy a PC? And let's see what kind of performance you're going to get, cousin. What kind of performance you're going to get for $3,000 versus $500. You know, because remember, even that native 4K, when you sit far away, you're not going to see those pixels. You're not going to see those pixels. For you to see those pixels, you got to have a big ass TV. Excuse my language. You got to have a big TV, like a 77-inch or 85-inch, something juggernaut big. And then you got to sit up close to see those every and each individual pixels, 8.3 million of them, right? When you're sitting, let's say you have a 65-inch 4K TV and you're watching something native 4K, you're going to have to sit 7 feet away or 8 feet away or whatever where your couch is. So it doesn't really matter if it's a native 4K or checkerboard. It's not going to make much of a difference, what I'm trying to say. It's not going to be a drastic difference. And people get so caught up in these numbers by watching the Digital Foundry and all these other channels, and they get caught up in all these numbers, and then they miss out on a game like this. This is pretty much what you're going to see. Right now, I'm demonstrating with the settings that I'm using right here. I'm pretty much demonstrating to you what you're going to be able to see on July 27th. Well, I haven't had any issues with my Series S. Excuse me. Did you see that with the upcoming update, the GPU is going to be utilized properly on PC? Yes. And just so it happens that... Hold on. We got to fix this, guys. This has to be 2560. Let me see. Let's do a dynamic resolution. Let's keep it at 26. Hold on. .3840 by 2160. Let's keep it at the 23 by 1200. Let's see what we can achieve here. And then we'll keep the output resolution at 4K. Actually, just so happens, JS, the update is going to roll out on July 27th. And that same update, it lands on the same date as the release of Flight Simulator on Series X and Series S. So does that mean that the same performance will be utilized on the Series X and Series S? I think it will. Yeah, that's what they said. The update's going to land on July 27th. The same time the Series X and Series S will be releasing. So let's see what we did here. All right, so here's what I did. The output resolution, it's 4K. The rendering resolution, this is the most important part. It's 2300 times 1200. So think of this like a dynamic resolution. Not so much checkerboard, but dynamic, like dynamic scaling resolution. And I left my anti-aliasing at FXAA. I have removed my terrain level of detail from 100 to 85. I have moved texture supersampling to 2 times and anisotropic filtering to 4 times, and contact shadows to medium, windshield effects to medium, motion blur to medium, lens corrections off, and glass cockpit refresh rate to medium. So let's see what we got here. Let's see how it runs. Alright, well, this is definitely smooth. 60 FPS, look at this. Look at that. Now, it's 4K, but it's dynamic. Okay, it's upscaled. It's checkerboard. Call it checkerboard. Alright. Let's just call it a checkerboard technique with a dynamic resolution. rendering resolution at 2300 by 1200. The output, it's 4K. So basically, the rendering resolution, it's being upscaled to the 4K. You're still getting the 4K, but not native 4K. But are you really going to tell a difference? My whole point is this. Are you really going to tell a difference sitting 7 feet away or 8 feet away, having two televisions, 55-inch? One is the, checkerboard resolution. The other one is a native 4K resolution. Are you really going to be able to tell that difference? Sitting 7 feet away or 8 feet away, I guarantee you, you won't be able to tell that difference. But with this technique, you got 60 FPS, and it runs much better, as you can see. But do you need 60 FPS? That's my question. Do you need it? Is it really that important? Is 60 FPS really that important? I don't know. Is it really? Is 60 FPS that important? Honestly, I don't think it is that important on the flight simulator, because you're not, it's not a Top Gun game. You're not like chasing another airplane. You're not fighting another airplane. You're not a jet fighter. You're just enjoying the flight. So 30 FPS is it's gonna be just fine. Now, I do notice that there's some jagged-edged lines over here. You see, like right here, there's some jagged-edged lines, but that's something you have to zoom in to see. That's something you got to use a magnifying glass to see. That's not something that you're going to see sitting far away. Okay, let's lock it up at 30 FPS. Let's do that. Somebody recommended 30 FPS. Let's do that really quick. Let's go over here. Keep it locked to 30 and let's see. Let's see how it runs. Let's do that. So now we're locked at 30 FPS with the same resolution of 2300 by 1200. But let's pretend that this is a Series S. Okay, now let's pretend that we are on a Series S. Okay, let's say you got Series S, and let's pretend that this is Series S. What happens on your Series S? On your Series S, you're going to set your display on your 4K TV to be a 4K. So, your Series S will output 4K. But, your flight simulator, it's going to output 1080p. So, we're going to go down to 1080p. Right over here. Okay, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm mimicking a Series S console. I'm trying to put my mindset into a Asobo Team based on what I heard them say. So right here, your console Series S is going to output 4K onto your television, and it's going to have a 4K. It's going to say 4K. However, your video game flight simulator software will be rendering that source resolution at 1080p, and it's going to have HDR turned on at 30 FPS. So let's see. How's it going to look? Let's check it out. It might look a bit soft, but when you're sitting far away, I don't think you're going to really notice that much. So let's go back. Let's see. Not bad. This 30 FPS, not bad. I can live with this. I can live with this. I'm okay with this. This doesn't bother me. If I have a Series S and I want to save money and all I have is $300, or maybe I got it on a discount. Maybe I had some gift cards or something, and maybe I paid $200 for Series S. Maybe I had a discount. This is not bad. This is not bad at all. I can live with this. And you should be able to live with this too. So the whole point of this live stream is what I'm trying to prove to you is that a lot of you guys, and please don't take this the wrong way, a lot of you guys get confused with all these numbers based on what you're going to hear from Digital Foundry on July 20th, when Digital Foundry starts reviewing Flight Simulator on July 20th. You're going to get caught up in all these numbers. Oh my God, it's only 1080p. Oh my God, it's only 1400p to 1600p scaling resolution. Da 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 da. Certain graphical interpretations have been lowered down. It's locked at 30 FPS. Oh my God, this is going to look like dog shit. Why did I purchase Series S? Why did I purchase X? Don't get caught up in that, guys. That's what I'm trying to save you from. To get caught up in that Digital Foundry, manipulation. Again, I have nothing against Digital Foundry. They are telling you the truth. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't enjoy it. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't enjoy this. You can still enjoy this. Here I am. This is pretty much 1080p source resolution upscaled to 4K. That's pretty much what you're looking at. Now, is it a bit blurry? Yes. Why? We see some jagged edged lines. It's a bit blurry because, well, not too blurry, but soft. It's a bit soft. It's soft a little bit because it's 1080p. But with a good upscaling and with a good TV that also has a good upscaling, I think you're going to be okay. And everyone, it's freaking out. Oh my God, I'm so disappointed. I really expected that it's going to run at native 4K. Well, we have to be realistic. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. Even for people who have 3090 Ti, they're having difficulty. Running this game at native 4K with high-end settings at 60 FPS. Even with 3090, they're having a difficult time. So what do you guys think? What do you think, JS? Do I like flying with the multiplayer? Yes. Extreme gaming. It's just, you meet some people once in a while. You ran into some people, some interesting individuals, and make some friends. You never know. It's kind of interesting. Hey, what's up, Giza? How are you? There's nothing wrong with this, man. This is fine. And this is 30 FPS, locked in 30 FPS. Now let's unlock it to 60 FPS. Let's see how fast it is. Let's unlock it to 60 FPS. Excuse me. Okay. 60 FPS. Rendering resolution source, it's 1080p. 4K output. And let's see. Go back. I don't know. Do you need 60 FPS? Do you need 60 FPS? Is it really? I don't know. Do you need it? Is it that important to you? I don't think so. It's not a jet fighter. You're not fighting anybody here. Do you really need this fast? No. You don't need that. I don't think it's important. Who said that we don't need 60 FPS? Was it you, Extreme Gaming? I think somebody said it. One of you guys said it. So let's bring it back to 30. Let's keep it at 30 FPS. I think I just proved the point that we don't really need. Do we really need 60 FPS? Yeah, let's keep it at 30 FPS. Let's go back to the options and let's keep it at 30 FPS. So now we're playing a Series S version. This is a Series S version now at 1080p. That's what they said. The guy clearly said, as far as I remember, if I'm mistaken, you guys could go check it. But he clearly said, for the Series S version, one of the guys from the meeting on that podcast, when the question was asked, he clearly said it was locked at 1080p source resolution, upscaled to 4K with HDR and Dolby Vision. And it was locked at 30, he said. Same thing, locked at 30. The only difference was the Series X version fluctuates with dynamic scaling resolution. 1400, he said, and then scales up to 16, 1400, 1600, depending on where you are. We're in San Francisco right now. Let's go down to San Francisco and let's see how it looks. Let's check the downtown San Francisco. Hey, what's up, Andrew? Good to see you, man. How are you? I'm doing good. By the way, happy 4th of July weekend, everybody. How you guys doing? I'm keeping an eye on that hurricane, Elsa. I did a live stream earlier today. People, you need to take every hurricane. You need to take it seriously. You have to respect Mother Nature. When you stop respecting Mother Nature, it bites you in the ass. Hopefully nothing happens. But we have to look at all of the options, all of the worst case scenarios. Who is this? We're not going to allow that here, man. That kind of like crap, dude. That's something you got to keep it to yourself, man. You cannot bring that here, man. Sorry, bro. You got to go. You're just pretty much asking yourself to be blocked, I got a lot of haters from Germany. I mean, what did I do? Did I stole the one nut from your Führer or something? Like, what did I do? Did I screw a Führer's daughter or something? What the fuck did I do to you guys in Germany? Yeah. Fuck. He's probably not even... Here's the thing, man. He's not even from Germany, bro. The guy's not even from Germany. See, that's the thing. He's pretending that he's from Germany. He's probably one of those, KKK, swastika sympathizers somewhere in the inbred, whatever, Kentucky inbred village somewhere in the mountains. One of those mountain boys, mountain boys. Yeah, those guys with the big suspenders. Billy Bob Joe six-packs, That's who that is, Guys, cannot bring politics here. Cannot bring none of that nonsense here, all right? We all have our political views. We all have our differences. This is not the place for that. This is not the place for that. We're not going to talk about that here. We're talking about the flight simulator, okay? And I'm not going to, entertain that crap here, Anyway, what can you do? There's always one. Lately I've been attacked by these cryptocurrency coin guys from UK. It was ridiculous. Like, YouTube had to remove 1,200 of them. All fake. Fake. YouTube told me, hey, we had to remove 1,200 scammers and spammers. So that's why I was doing all these videos like that. They wanted to sell and bring the attention to the cryptocurrency, to the Bitcoin. Like some group of, I don't know who they are. I forgot who they are, but they're out there in UK somewhere, Manchester, I think they said. And they were trying to impose this whole push of Bitcoin, you know. I don't know why people, I'm like a magnet for these guys, you know. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm just a regular dude, you know. I'm not your leader. I'm not your messiah, you know. Jesus Christ. All right. Since when did you guys appoint me? It's like, I mean, I'm flattered if I have that kind of influence. I'm flattered, but I'm not, you know. Maybe YouTube makes me look bigger than I am, but I'm not, you know. I don't have any kind of influence power, believe me. I don't. Believe me. If I had influence power, I would be right now broadcasting from Beverly Hills in the big mansion. I would be flying on a private jet with a hot tub, and there'd be a bunch of chicks in the hot tub. You know, it would be a different story. But I'm not. Anyway, so let's get back to this, guys. So let's pretend that this is a Series S. Hey, Extreme Gaming, let me throw you a wrench. Just so you can have it, man, you know. And JS is a good guy. I like him. I'm gonna, and Andrew too, man. Andrew, you can have one too. It's because we got a lot of people, and when there's a lot of people, you know, someone's gonna say something, and if you see somebody say something and I don't see it, like something hateful, something like vile, something that's just cannot be tolerated nor shouldn't be tolerated. That way, you guys can just remove that person, just get him out of there, you know. So you guys can have that. So let's get back to this. So right now we have a scaling rendering resolution 1080p. So this means that your Series S, your white little console, Series S, it's going to be outputting source rendering resolution of 1920 by 1080. And then your console, it's already locked at display TV resolution with 4K. So that means that the television and your console will have to upscale this software, Flight Simulator, from your Series S to fit 4K 8.3 million pixels. So that's what's happening here. And I'm mimicking the same technique that the Asobo most likely it's going to use on July 27th. So let's see how it looks. Let's go closer to San Francisco so we can see San Francisco and see how it looks up close. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and let's do that. Let's go back. I apologize to everybody who saw that comment. I should have reported that guy. I should have reported him. But anyway, it doesn't matter. My bad. I forgot. I should have reported him. Anyway, let's go close to San Francisco so we can see the terrain. I'm going to slow down a little bit. Okay, Aliki, we can do that. Let's try that. Let's bring it to TAA. Let's see what we got here. What I'm basically doing here, Aliki, is yeah, Extreme Gaming. If somebody said something like that again, You can also report him. Just hit report, hateful comment. Let the YouTube deal with him, or he or she. You know, you could do that if you. It's up to you. I'll let you decide. I'll let you guys decide. You know, you make a decision. You make your decision based on what you think is the right thing to do. You know, I'll let you guys decide. Hold on a second. I'll put this over here. So lately, man, it's been nonstop, man. On my channel, man, it's been nonstop. It's been like some kind of D-Day invasion, bro. It's been crazy. I think you guys understand, like, why I had to do what I had to do. I think you guys are getting the bigger picture, man. It's getting like ridiculous. So anyway, let's see. Looks good. We select TAA from FXAA, thanks to Asiki, or is it Aiki? I'm sorry, Aiki. So let's get closer down to the terrain, and let's check out the terrain. Remember, guys, this is what you're most likely gonna see on your Series S. This is most likely what you're gonna see on your Series S. Let's also adjust something here as well. I'm sorry. Let's adjust I think the color bleeding is too bad here. That's better. This is honestly not that bad. If this is what if this is what I can expect to see on Series S, then man, I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy guy. If this is what I can expect to see on a beautiful white little tiny console called Series S, and it's $300, and let's say you buy it for $250 and you playing this game included with a Game Pass, bro, that's a great investment. That's a great way of saving money, and this looks great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. So what I'm trying to say to all of you, if you have Series S, don't go out there, rush out and buy Series X. Oh my god, I gotta have a Series X. Dude, you're gonna be fine with this. You're gonna be okay, bro. When you add the layer of HDR, UHD color, it's gonna look even better on your OLED TV. You know. And this is, and when you see it far away, I guarantee you're gonna have a difficult time trying to distinguish native 4K with 1080p source resolution upscale. I'm telling you. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been checking some of those movies. Native 4K, checkerboard, native 4K, upscaled. I've been watching Blu-ray movies with the upscaler Blu-ray player that my friend Jason had. And, dude, we were watching, what was the movie we were watching? John Wick. And we watched both 4K UHD Blu-ray version and the Blu-ray version on his Sony upscaling Blu-ray player that he purchased from somewhere else. That's unlocked version from Europe. He had to import that player. Dude, it works both for the American continent and European continent. It's unlocked. Dude, we couldn't tell a difference. Honestly, sure, there was HDR missing, but in terms of like sharpness and detail, we couldn't tell a difference. We couldn't tell a difference. The only difference we saw was the color because of the UHD, but we honestly couldn't tell that much of a difference in terms of like sharpness of detail. So when you're sitting 7 feet away from your television, you're going to have a difficult time spotting the difference. Now, if you zoom in and you come closer to your TV, then of course you're going to see the difference. You know. You're welcome, Andre. You're welcome, JS. Oh, I'm doing that right now. I'm doing that right now. I'm doing that right now. We're doing exactly what it's going to be on the Series S and Series X. We're doing exactly that. We're mimicking. Now, when you zoom in a little bit, you're going to see some terrain. It's not going to look that detailed because we have, lowered the graphical settings. But it's still enjoyable. It's still good. It's still good. Now, your internet data with the Azure AI, with the Azure artificial intelligence, that's going to be whole other issue. That's going to be whole other issue that I think some people will have. And they're going to say, oh my God, why everything looks so scrambled? Well, guys, depending on your internet and how much of that data you're allowed from your internet service provider, that will also depend on the experience of Microsoft Flight Simulator. That will also depend. That's where, you need to also invest. Honestly, you should be doing that right now. You should be investing on a good internet that doesn't have this ridiculous overcharge on the data cap. You want to find a good provider that doesn't have that ridiculous data cap, because this thing will eat a lot of data. I'm going to tell you. Do I expect any bugs on release day? Sure, of course. There will be some bugs. But there also is going to be a bunch of updates. That's expected with every new release, with every new game, especially with this game. Yeah, man, you're going to see a bunch of bugs. But that's okay. We expect that. I expect it. We all should expect that. But that doesn't mean that, oh my God, we shouldn't touch this game. It's just you need to prepare yourself and make that space available. You're going to need to have plenty of space available on your Series S or Series X, so that way you can be ready to rock and roll. You're going to have a bunch of updates, for sure. July 28th, July 29th, over the weekend, going into the August, you're going to see a bunch of updates. But look at this. If this is something I can expect to play on my Series S, there's nothing wrong with this. Guys, this is exactly what you can expect to see right now on your Series S. What you're looking at, it's exactly me showing you what's going to be possible on your Series S. We're in Oakland right now. I think Oakland, California, San Francisco. This is exactly what you can expect to see. Something like this. The only difference is going to be high dynamic range. It's going to make this look even better. Dolby Vision is going to make this look even better. And if you have OLED panel with HDR and Dolby Vision, well, guess what? It's going to look even more delicious. So all of these elements will have to play into place. Now, if you have a Vizio, I said to people, hey man, Vizio's on sale right now, 55-inch. 55-inch Vizio H1 OLED for $1,000. A July 4th sale, they have it for like $980, I think. The last time I saw was like close to $1,000. That's not a bad deal. If I didn't have any OLED, I would definitely get it. But since I have already two OLEDs, I don't need one. But if you're looking for a television, go with Vizio H1. You know, there's absolutely not wrong with it. You know. Yes, it's Scully. It's included with the Game Pass. That's the beauty about the Game Pass. Like Adam Sessler was saying earlier on the interview. Are you guys watching Adam Sessler? G4 TV. You gotta watch it. He actually said on one of the podcasts that he was doing with the other guy, this other chick. He said that that's the great thing about the Game Pass is that the games are included. You don't have to worry about, did I pre-order Flight Simulator? Did I pre-order Halo Infinite? Did I pre-order Forza Horizon Mexico? I can't wait to drive around Mexico. By the way, I'm working on tonight Forza Horizon for Series S. You guys gonna be surprised how good it looks on Series S. Even I was blown away, man. I still can't believe it. I'm working on that video. I was too busy working on PlayStation 5. Jedi Fallen Order. I am also working on Series X version of Jedi Fallen Order. I have done the Series S version. So I think you guys are going to be super surprised like how good Forza Horizon looks on Series S. Even I still can't believe it. I was like, how is this even possible, man? Yes. 80 gigabytes. 80 gigabytes. And then the updates. 10 gigabytes here, 10 gigabytes there. So you're looking roughly at altogether like 128 gigabytes, something like that. Then you got to keep in mind there will be a constant updates, constant DLCs, downloading the airplanes, downloading the continent, certain regions, handcraft regions like Europe, certain parts of Europe, certain parts of Asia, certain parts of North America. These updates can take up to 9 gigabytes, 10 gigabytes each. So you're looking at 150 altogether, man. Let's just put it roughly, you're going to need a 200 gigabytes, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm just going to tell you right now. Be ready to have 200 gigabytes free. I'm just being honest right now. I'm just being 100% with you. You're going to need that 200 gigabytes free. Now, if you have one of those sticks, one of those, solid state SSD sticks, then you can use that. If you don't, then you can just go ahead and back up your existing games to your external SSD Samsung hard drive that you have, and then you can just reserve that 200 gigabytes just for the Flight Simulator. But you should reserve 200 gigabytes free. Let's see how San Francisco looks. This road will take you to San Francisco. If you live in California, you probably know that. So, I think we passed George Lucas. I think we passed the ILM and all that. No, that's over there on the other side. I know, I was thinking about that too, Andrew. Wouldn't it be cool if Microsoft actually included 2 expansion bays? How cool would that be, bro? If they included 2 expansion bays, and they gave you the option of 500 gigabyte SSD, 700 gigabyte SSD, 800 gigabyte SSD, 1.2 terabyte SSD, 1.5 terabyte SSD. If they gave you like variety of different options, how cool would that be? And you can use 2 different expansion bays. That would be cool. Maybe they'll create the adapter that can go into the expansion bay, and you can put 2 SSD cards into the expansion bay, like in the adapter. Maybe they can have some kind of an adapter that can relay that into 2 different slots, and then those 2 different slots can act like 2 different separate expansions, and then you can go ahead and you can use it. Who knows? All right, well, it's San Francisco. It doesn't look that bad, man. This dude, I'm okay with this. If I'm telling you right now, guys, let me pause right here. Guys, this is not bad at all. Let me tell you, at 30 FPS, considering that we are mimicking a Series S, this is pretty good experience, man. To be able to fly a flight simulator, this is a pretty good experience for a console, for a Series S. Now, if you look in the distance, yeah, you're gonna see some jagged-edged lines, but those jagged-edged lines, that's something you have to use a magnifying glass. And this is what drives me crazy about Digital Foundry, that they constantly have to use the telescope and the magnifying glass to show you, hey, you're missing out. You're missing out on this. You're missing out on that. But Digital Foundry, and I have to criticize them, and I love them, but I have to criticize them, they never stop to tell you, yes, we just showed you all of this differences that you're missing with resolution and the graphics. But we also want to tell you, when you are watching 7 feet away from your television, you're not going to see that difference because you are watching 7 feet away. You're not sitting up close to see that. So I just wish that they would say that. I just wish that Digital Foundry would say to everybody, okay, we showed you the differences, we showed you the numbers, but guys, these are not drastic differences. When you are sitting far away from the TV, you're really not going to tell that difference that much. It's not going to bother you that much. But they never do that. Like Digital Foundry never does that. They just give you the numbers and they tell you, okay, you're losing textures here. You got jagged-edged lines over here. The volumetric light, it's not as comprehensive as the one on this system, right? But they never tell you, hey, if we zoom out, if we sit back 7 feet away, this is not going to be a huge issue. It's not going to be a huge problem. I remember bitching and moaning about, oh my God, PlayStation 4 Pro looks ridiculous and hideous with 1440p. While in the Xbox One X version, it's native 4K and looks crisp, clean. And I'm like, when I'm sitting 7 feet away from a television, I don't see that drastic difference. I mean, I can tell that it looks a bit softer on the PlayStation, and it looks a bit sharper on the Xbox One X Scorpio Edition, but it's not like drastic difference where I would say, oh my God, I gotta purchase Project Scorpio. I gotta get the One X. Now, it is great that Red Dead Redemption was running in native 4K 30 FPS on a Project Scorpio edition. That right there, I was like, pretty amazing. That was outstanding. People forgot that. When people talk about Project Scorpio and Xbox One X, I always try to remind them on a launch date, October 26th, 2017. 2018, I'm sorry, 2018. Why did I say 2017? 2018. Was it 2018? 2018. Scorpio was released on November 7th, 2017. I apologize. October 2018. October 26th, 2018. That was truly remarkable that such a huge game, Red Dead Redemption 2, was running on native 4K, 30 FPS. And it still does. So, but Does that mean that I'm gonna, if I have a PlayStation 4 Pro, does that mean I'm gonna, run out to the store and purchase the Project Scorpio just because it has that little sharper detail? I don't think so, honestly. So let me go down there a little bit lower. Before we go down there, I want to show you something, guys. So just so you know what we're doing here, for those of you who are joining in. Okay, so as you can see right here, it's at 1080p. 1080p. That's the source rendering resolution. And then over here, it's outputting the 4K resolution. So this right here, it's being scaled and upscaled to 4K. Pretty much the same principle that Series S will be using. So let's go back and just remember, this is pretty much a Series S. What you're looking at right now, it's definitely Series S version. And look at this. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad. Really not bad, man. I'm okay with this. On Series S. I'm not going to complain. Nor should you. Yeah, dude. And clearly you saw it's a 1080p. And not only that, hold on a second. Not only that, not only do we have a 1080p source resolution scaling to 4K, meaning upscaling, upscaling to reach 8.3 million pixels, but at the same time, check this out. We also reduced, because we want to stay true to the Series S. We also reduced our graphics. We're locked at 30 FPS. We're locked at 30 FPS. We're using the TAA, which is a temporal anti-aliasing, provides the highest quality at the highest cost. Because we want to keep that quality a little bit better. Terrain vector data, it's high. Buildings are high. Super sampling, it's at 2 times 2. Anisotropic filtering, it's at 4 times. Contact shadows, medium. And this is 1080p. Ambient inclusion, high. Because it's 1080p, we can do it. Because we're hitting the 30 FPS mark, so we're okay with this. Depth of field is set to high. Motion blur set to medium. Motion blur can also have a big sacrifice on your performance in FPS. So we kept this at medium. Lens correction, we turned that off. And the glass cockpit refresh rate, we left it at medium. And we also lowered down the terrain shadow to 512, which is great. So keep an eye on this. Don't keep an eye on this. This is where we're going to upscale. This is our target upscaling. This is what you got to keep an eye on. This right here. This is what everybody needs to keep an eye on. And that's why I'm showing you this, because I want you guys to understand the techniques that they're using, that these developers are using, techniques they're going to use on the July 27th. Lebrun. Yes, I'm going to be live streaming on that day, and I'm also going to be doing a comparison. The video comparison is what everybody wants to see. Series S versus Series X. This is probably the video that everybody wants to see. That's what everybody wants to see on July 27th. And I can't wait to do it. Can't wait for you guys to see it, to talk about it. Everybody wants to see that video, even me included. just to see, is there a drastic difference here? Do you need to run out and buy a Series X if you already have a Series S? Should you stick with your Series S? Should you just run out and buy a Series X? It'll be interesting to see. Andrew, you have Series X and S with 2 of the Seagate 1 terabyte expansion SSDs, and I'm all out of space. Yeah, Andrew, man, these games these days are ridiculous. They're super, what you call it, huge in sizes. Big sizes, like we're talking like 300 gigabytes, 200 gigabytes, 120 gigabytes. Forza Horizon 5, probably 130 gigabytes. It's ridiculous. All of that eats your hard drive. Like 1 terabyte, it's nothing. Guys, we need at least 5 terabytes minimum. 1 terabyte is just a joke. Really. That's my only complaint about the consoles, is the hard drive space. That's right now one of my biggest issues is the hard drive space. It's the one thing that's just ridiculous. When you look at Call of Duty, 320 gigabytes, I think I'm going to delete my Call of Duty. It's getting worse. Today there was another update. I think I'm at 380 gigabytes for Call of Duty. I think I'm at the point where I'm just not going to play Call of Duty no more. It is getting like super ridiculous when it comes to Call of Duty. You welcome gaming, Newfi. Flight Simulator will take up to 11 gigabytes pre-order today. Well, that's 11 gigabytes. That's a software. You are downloading a software, and that software, just like on PC, is going to download the full game and all of the updates. Remember, you just downloaded the application. Application, it's 11 gigabytes. But the game itself, it's going to be 120 easily. Then you got to consider all the other updates. You're looking at 150, 160 gigabytes. You're going to need 200 gigabytes reserved on your Xbox Series X and S. I'm telling you. Just so I told you in advance, so you know. I mean, if you have a look, I can play this on my laptop. I think I did a video not too long ago where I showed you I can play Flight Simulator on my laptop, on my gaming laptop, Alienware 1080 with a 1070. I was able to play it on a 1070 with the 7th generation i7 processor, 16 gigs of RAM. If I can run it on my laptop, then Series S obviously shouldn't be an issue at all. So let's go check out the terrain now that you know what's going on here. That we are trying to mimic Series S. So let's go back. And let's check out downtown San Francisco. Let's zoom in a little bit like that. Not bad, dude. This is not bad. Everything seems to be consistent. Not bad at all, dude. If this is what I can enjoy on my bedroom or my living room on a Series S, dude, I'm okay. I'm okay with this. I'm not gonna complain come July 27th, dude. So this is why I really wanted to do this live stream, because I saw a bunch of people on forums and I'm trying to tell you that, hey, dude, don't cry, dude. And it's just like, the PC will cost you arm and leg. Like I was telling Rachel, my friend Rachel, the PC will cost you arm and leg. building that PC is going to cost you arm and leg. Hold on. I was lucky that I was able to build my PCs and this office and all of that back in 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. But after this pandemic, right now, I cannot recommend. Under any circumstances, would I dare, even if you have money, would I recommend you building a PC, man? Did you look at the prices of those CPUs, of those GPUs? Did you look at the prices of these cases for the PC? Thermal take cooling, liquid cooling, power supply, memory RAM. Have you taken a good look at the new egg? Have you taken a good look how expensive it is? We're talking $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 all together. It's almost like I cannot recommend. I cannot, unless you got a business hobby for gaming, dude, you're better off. You might as well just stick with Stadia, bro. At that point, at this point, you might as well stick with Stadia. But that's okay. You don't have to do that. We have Series S. Series S, it's available in Walmart like every other Friday. You can get it for $300. Walk into a store every Friday morning, go in there, check it. You'll get one, and you'll enjoy this. You'll enjoy this and many other games, many other cool games. You just need to buy a hard drive to back up those games, back them all up, and then when you need to install them, you install them, bring them back, install them. You can work your way around that, you know. So that's why I kept telling everybody, this is why I was so blown away by Series S. You know, people say, but it doesn't have a 4K Blu-ray. Dude, barely any physical media. You walk into a Best Buy, there's barely any physical media anymore. I have to ask somebody, hey dude, where's the physical media? Seriously, I had to go ask somebody. I couldn't find it. And when I went to find it, small little section, bro. Small little tiny section. I could actually open a Blockbuster video store. The amount of physical media I have. It's physical media, it's really dead. When you look at the streaming, all of these streaming services, all of these studios putting these movies directly to home streaming services, like who's gonna bother? So I don't really care much about, you know, the fact that it doesn't have a physical media. I mean, I have 4K Blu-ray players. I don't really need it. If you feel like you need it, well then go with a Series X, but it's not like a deal breaker for me, honestly. Yeah. Hold on a second, I need a little bit of a drink. This is what we're looking at with the Series S right here. Now let's do a Series X. So let's pretend now that we have Series X and we're switching from 1080p to, let's say, 1500. All right, let's say for the sake of the argument, we're going to be scaling this to a 1500, you know, 2600 by 1500. Because that's what the guy was saying. It says it scales. It scales. It's never at 1600p. It goes down to 1400, 1600, 1500, 1400. Keeps scaling. Keeps doing this. We'll have to wait for Digital Foundry to find out what the scaling resolution fluctuation is, up and down, up and down. We'll have the schematics of that. We'll have a metadata of that. I'm sure Richard or whoever is out there, Mike, will do a great job on that. But For right now, let's see how it looks like when we jump into Series X. We're pretending this is Series X based on the information that the guy gave to all of us on their last conference podcast, Asobo podcast. All right, so let's apply this. Okay, now it looks a bit sharper, and it should be. And that's okay. Now you notice that it's a bit sharper. So this is what you're going to notice on a Series X with a HDR, Dolby Vision. Obviously, that's going to make a whole lot of difference. So now it looks a bit better because now we got scaling resolution of 1500. And this is what you can expect to see on a Series X. So, of course, Series X version will be the most desirable version to play this game. But what I'm trying to prove here is I would be okay with a Series S version as well. It's not a drastic difference. Sure, if you get closer to the TV, you're going to notice that, it's a bit softer on 1080p versus Series X. When you get closer to the TV, you're going to notice that it's sharper due to the scaling higher pixel count to the 1500p, 1400p, 1600p. Okay? But it's not native 4K. But it's not a deal breaker that it's not native 4K. Now, it would be amazing. It would be amazing if we could see a native 4K. That would be amazing. But that will not happen. Highly unlikely we're going to see that. Based on what I have. Actually, let me give you the link. Hold on. Based on what I have heard from the Asobo team. Let me give you the link. Hold on a second. Just bear with me. I'll give you the link. Let me give you the link really quick. It's right here somewhere. Just bear with me. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Trying to find the Asobo. Where was that podcast? Oh, there it is. Here we go. This is what I'm basing all of this from. I don't want you to think I'm guessing. This is what I have heard them say. And I watched this podcast twice. I think twice. And I was paying attention clearly to what the guy was saying when he was asked the question. So there it is. Watch that podcast. Now this is Series X. Obviously it looks sharper. It looks better. As it should be. Because we got a higher resolution. We're scaling at a higher resolution. So of course it's going to look better. But if I couldn't afford Series X and all I had was Series S, I wouldn't cry about it. I would still be happy. Because what Series S is doing for the money that you're paying on that console, it's pretty remarkable, guys. I feel like Series S has been like this unwanted child, like an orphan that nobody wants to adapt. Like it's just like this forgotten child that nobody wants to show any love, or to help that child. And I felt like the same way about Series S. Of course, Series X, this looks good, but let's switch back to Let's switch back to Series S. Let's go back to Series S again. Let's see the difference. Memorize this photo. Let's switch to Series S. Hold on. Yes, 900p was trashed as well. Let's just remember we were at the 15, 26 by 15. So we're going to go down to 1080. 1080 right here. Bit softer, but not a deal breaker. Not a deal breaker. Not a deal breaker, guys. Yes, it's softer. I get it. It's a bit softer. It looks like a little VHS thing, like watching a VHS. It's a bit softer, but it's not a bad deal. Now, if you're sitting 7 feet away, are you trying to tell me you're going to know right away the difference? Here, let's fly again. Let's go. Let's do the same thing. Now we're in a Series S. So this is Series S. Are we complaining? Would you complain about Series S with the HDR on top of it, with Dolby Vision on top of it, like this? I wouldn't complain. Thank you, JS. I would not complain. And I know JS agrees, and I know Andrew, and I think a lot of you guys agree with me that, yeah, dude, you know, if I can afford Series X and I cannot find one, and all I can find in Walmart it's Series S, dude, I'm okay. I'm okay for July 27th. I'm all right. You know, I'm not going to complain here. This is fine. This is good. Let's pause it. Let's go back to the X version. I was blown away. I'm working on a video. I was super blown away by Forza Horizon 4. Like, dude, last night I couldn't believe it. After I finished watching that movie, 2.5 hours, The Tomorrow War, which I'll talk about that movie some other time, because it's going to be a long conversation. It's not a bad movie, but there's some issues. There's some problems. So, after I finished watching that 2.5 hour movie, Tomorrow War, I decided to jump into Forza Horizon. And I really didn't know what to expect from Forza Horizon 4 on the Series S. But my God, wait till you see the comparison, Series X and Series S. It's going to be really hard for you to spot that drastic difference unless you use a magnifying glass. I was blown away how beautiful the Series S version looks. Hold on. Let's go to, what was the resolution again? 1500. So 2680 to 1500, because this is what the guy says. He says that the resolution is scaling at 1400 to 1500. And it says it's above 1400, so it's 1500. And he said sometimes it goes down to 1200, 1400. So it's going to be scaling depending on where you are, which continent, you know, which terrain. Is it handcraft? You know, depending how much memory does the handcrafted terrain needs. So the developer says the resolution is going to be scaling up and down, up and down. But that's okay. So let's go back to this. Let's apply. Now you're going to notice that it's going to look slightly sharper. But not a deal breaker. Not a deal breaker. Yes, it looks a bit sharper, of course, but not a deal breaker. Thank you, Hababakan. I'm really impressed with what Microsoft has done with the Series S. For the price, for what it has inside. And of course, I'm also impressed with the Series X for $500 and what that console can achieve. You know, I am impressed. But I'm really more impressed with Series S. You know, because of the price. And these are some very difficult economic times, you know, after the pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs. They're still having difficult time finding a job. They owe money to the creditors and this and that. It's tough. It's tough out there. I get it, man. I get it. It's tough everywhere, all around. And, we all want to save money, right? We all want to save money. So, Series S, it's like God sent from Phil Spencer. The compact size, the small size, the $300, the Game Pass for $1 a month, man, all the games included. Dude, I mean, you doesn't get any better for me personally. If I'm somebody who's struggling, knock on the wood, I'm okay because I'm single. I can manage. But if I was married, if I had kids, it'd be definitely a different story. Definitely a different story. This would be a donation only type of a stream. But if I was struggling, let's say, God forbid, I was struggling and that's it. Like, fuck, dude, I'm in bankruptcy. I'm done. Dude, this would be it. This would be like one console I would pick. Period. This would be one console I would pick. One console I would use. That's it. Series S. Hands down. Series S. Yes, Mr. Retro Angel, it will be balanced and optimized well. And we all should be happy. That's going to be the case, But what do you guys think? Are you guys really happy with I'm very happy with Microsoft, dude. Listen, man, I have my PlayStation, okay? I'm impressed with DualSense controller and playing certain games like Jedi Fallen Order with a DualSense controller, playing certain games with that haptic feedback, adaptive triggers. I am impressed with that, with what PlayStation can do. But my goodness, they want us to pay $75 for Returnal. They want us to pay $75 for Ratchet and Clank, and I enjoyed Ratchet and Clank. But am I gonna go back playing Ratchet and Clank? I don't think so. I've been there, done that. I played it. I finished it. There's no co-op. There's no multiplayer. There's nothing for me to do on Ratchet and Clank. I'm done. I've been there, done that, finished it, finito. You know what I mean? And I look at the PlayStation Plus. I don't really see any benefits. What benefits? I still have to pay almost a full price for the game. To rattle your cages, my Sony fans. And I have 2 PlayStation 5s. You guys know that. But I have to be honest. How can I be transparent if I tell you, oh no, PlayStation is the greatest thing since sliced bread? It's not the greatest thing since sliced bread. Because of Jim Ryan and his greed. Jim Ryan's so greedy, he doesn't even care that you have to pay $75 to $80 on whatever exclusive game they make. He doesn't care. He just wants you to pay. He doesn't care that if you're a baseball fan and their exclusive game like MLB The Show license, it's available on Game Pass included, while you have to pay the full price. And you are the PlayStation owner. You are the PlayStation Plus owner, and you have to pay a full price. That's something that needs to be said about Jim Ryan. He's probably, in my opinion, the worst CEO of PlayStation. Let me be the first one to say it. Let me be the first one to say. I'll say it hands down. The worst CEO of PlayStation. Period. And Herman Host is the same thing. He doesn't care. He just wants to make sure that he makes his boss happy, that he makes his quota to make the Sony boards of directors in Tokyo, Japan happy. He just wants to make the investors and Sony of Tokyo happy, and he doesn't care about you, the gamers. Phil Spencer actually cares. Yes, he has to manage a big company like Xbox division, but at the same time, he still cares. He cares more. Well, he's probably the only CEO that I know that really gives a shit, honestly. And he's a gamer. Yes, he's married. He has 2 beautiful daughters, and he loves cars. His other interests, but he cares. He still wants to help you. He's giving you the ability to play Xbox games through xCloud. He's giving you the ability to choose how you want to play on Xbox Game Pass ecosystem. He's not forcing you to buy anything you don't want to buy. If you have a good gaming laptop, that's okay. As long as you subscribe to the Game Pass Ultimate, no problem. You can go ahead. You can start gaming. So he cares. He's giving you a variety of different options on how you want to play. You want to play on your phone? That's fine too. You want to play on the cloud and use the television on your cloud? That's fine too. He's not gonna judge you. He's not gonna look down upon you. He's not forcing you. You can play how you want to play on the Xbox ecosystem. On the PlayStation, you can't. You are limited. Nintendo, the same thing. You are limited. And this has to be said. And no one wants to say it, so let me be the first one to say it. And I know I just pissed off probably a truckload of Sony fans. I'm pretty sure I did. Pretty sure I did. Hey, what's up, Stu? How you doing? Well, yeah, there's always going to be that, Hababakon, I hope I pronounced it right. There's always going to be that issue, but that's okay. Like I said, it's not something that you're going to notice when you're playing Doom, when you're playing these first-person shooter games, because you care about the performance, right? You just want that 120 FPS. You want that 120 hertz refresh rate. So you don't have time, right? You're focused on getting your kill, getting your points. You're focused on that. You have to accomplish your goal. You have to reach that certain streak goal. So you're just focused on that, right? And you're not going to really care much about, did I lose a little bit of a texture here? Did I lose a little bit of a volumetric light? Does it look a bit softer? You just care about making that, that kill and getting the points, right? So the performance, it's always going to be the key for the competitors, individuals who are competing, right? We're talking about, Championship Club, those guys, Dr. Disrespect Club, they're going to care about the performance, and that's the key thing for them. Thank you, R9. Appreciate it, man. Well, that's what I try to do, man. Listen, I'm not a perfect. I make mistakes. I've done some things, in the past that I think people gonna judge my YouTube channel this way. I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. I have my issues. I have my problems. I'm not perfect. No one is. But people gonna always look at my channel. They're gonna say, even though you might not like him, you might not like the way he does things, you might not like the way he do things, but you can appreciate the fact that he always acknowledges the truth. He always has the courage to tell the truth, while others don't have the courage to say it. Others are hiding behind whatever it is that they're hiding behind. And this guy has the courage to call it the way it is. And he feels very comfortable with who he is. He's not trying to pretend that he's some Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise or this or that. The guy is very comfortable in his skin. I regret doing certain things the way I did it. Of course I regret doing certain things the way I did it. But that's who I am as a human being, you know. But I never did anything intentionally. You know, a lot of people ask me, you know, what about those individuals? Since we have to talk, I guess we have to mention this now, since I have already opened that can of worms. People would ask me privately, they would say, dude, you know, you have blocked 20 people. 20 people you have banned. And some of those 20 people, they were your moderators. They were your supporters. Like, what happened? Well, here's what people need to understand. If you ask those 20 individuals, they're going to tell you that I'm some kind of a villain, right? They're going to tell you that I'm a villain. They're going to make me look like I'm some kind of a villain, like some kind of a Thanos. Because they're going to tell you their version of the story, which is the same beating drum. This guy sucks. This guy has... But they're never going to tell you, hey, why don't you hear his side of the story, my side of the story. But they're never also going to tell you why they were blocked to begin with, why they were banned to begin with. You're never going to hear that side of the story because it doesn't fit their narrative. Why would I want to remove somebody for no reason? Why would I want to kick somebody for no reason? Why would I want to block somebody for no reason? That would make me just some lunatic, crazy-ass lunatic. Then you can say this guy's a crazy-ass lunatic. There has to be a reason. Individuals who I have blocked, whom I have banned recently in the past couple of months, they don't want to tell you that they have betrayed me. They don't want to tell you about the stuff they were talking about me behind my back. They don't want to tell you with whom they've been talking to, okay, and what they've been saying about me. They don't want to go down their route to tell you that. They don't want to go down their route to tell you that. Because if they tell you that, that's going to make them exposed and that's going to make them look bad. They don't want to do that. See, that's the thing. You only hear the one side of the story, that same beating drum. You know, Mr. 4K is a bad guy. Mr. 4K is this. Mr. 4K is a villain. He's a Thanos, you know. But they're not going to tell you what the actual reason was. You never hear that side of the story. Ever do you hear that side of the story. Even when I started in 2016, I didn't bother anybody. Did I make some mistakes in the beginning with the televisions? Of course, I made some mistakes. But people came after me in a very negative, nasty way. It wasn't even a comedic way, but they went after me ruthlessly. And I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not going to bend over and take it up the ass. Hard eight. That's not going to work with me. I'm not just your regular dude, regular white boy guy, you know. No, I'm not going to take it up the ass, playa, okay? I'm going to call you out on your bullshit. And I did. And I called him out on his bullshit. And then when he realized that he brought me more people and he lost more people because he made a clown ass out of himself by making all these drama queen fucking videos, then he realized, oops, I cannot do that with this guy. Same thing happened with the other guy, Westside Tech. Same thing. Same thing happened with the other guy from the United Kingdom. Same thing happened with the other dude from the Quantum, wearing mask, Deadpool, Quantum guy. And here I am, I'm still here, kicking at 43,000 plus subscribers. But I don't care about the numbers. I never started this channel to become a celebrity, to hold that plaque, you know, that plaque. Look at me, 100,000 subscribers. I'm not doing it for that reason. If I wanted to do it for that reason, I know who to call. I know with whom to partner. And I know how to get that traffic rolling. That was never my intent. My intent was to do this as a hobby and to have a good community of people. But in doing so, I have also found out that there's individuals out there who are jealous. They're jealous of my success. We call this a success. I don't know. What's so successful? What is a success here? Did I find a cure for the cancer, or did I design the spaceship that will take us to the Mars and bring us back to the planet Earth? Like, I don't know. What success are we talking here? Right? But see, they're never gonna, hey, this is why I did what I did and that's why I'm banned. You know what I mean? And that's why these individuals were blocked. But my intent was never to purposely remove somebody for no reason. I don't know what their issue is, what their problem is. I think they're jealous. I think they're jealous because they want to be the attention whores. I don't know what other language to use. I noticed a lot of them want to be attention whores. They want the attention. They want to be the best. Oh, I'm best at this. I have this best. I have that best. You know, and that kind of stuff I'm not really into. You know, but I don't care. That didn't bother me that somebody was egoistic or that they were saying I'm good at this, I'm best at this. You know, I don't care about that. What bothered me was that these individuals were pretending to be my supporters. They were pretending to be my friend. But yet, when the live stream is over, when they finish commenting on the video, they go back out to their, camp and they start talking all kinds of shit about me. As if I'm not going to find out, as if no one's going to tell me, right? As if I'm never going to find out about that, right? So, once you find out that these individuals were fake, I would rather you don't pretend to be my friend. Here's what I want to say to people. Just don't pretend to be my friend. But if we're going to be friends, then you got to remember that friendship can end pretty quickly, depending on what actions you do, depending on what you decide to do. We can be just like this community, but we don't have to be friends. But if we're going to be friends and you're going to tell me we're friends, and you're going to tell me you support me, you do this, you do that, then stay true to it. Stay true to it, because it's fake. If you go back and you start trashing me and talking about me and this and that, that's fake. And I don't tolerate that. I said to people millions of times, I don't tolerate that in real life. And I sure as hell not going to tolerate that on the internet. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of cover that a little bit. I know we're off subject because a lot of people ask me this question. Why are these individuals blocked? And another thing, I don't bully anybody. I don't do that. Look at my videos. I don't spend my time bullying people. I don't do that. I can give you some list of people whom I have blocked who do that kind of stuff to try to get some attention, but I don't do that. Okay? And I don't waste my time making videos about other people unless they're purposely, falsely accusing me of something that is not true. Then I have to defend myself. Then I have to respond. It's in my duty to respond when somebody makes a video about me that it's falsely accusing me of something that's not true. That I have to do. I have to defend myself. I have to respond. But I don't waste my fucking time making those kind of fucking videos. Only losers, insecure losers, and insecure losers. I don't know how else to call you. Insecure. Only an insecure losers would do such videos. Who are jealous, who hate their life, and they're so pissed off at their life and the way it turned out, and they never wanted to look at themselves in the mirror to say, maybe it's my fault that I'm in this fucking shithole that I'm in. I can't blame other people. I can't be jealous of other people's success and happiness. Okay? I gotta look at myself in the fucking mirror and say, hey, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one who caused this to be in a shithole that I'm in. And a lot of you out there don't want to do that. Don't want to look at yourself in the mirror and say, maybe it is me. Maybe it's this. I'm the individual looking myself in the mirror. I'm the one who caused this. And I need to figure out a way how to fix this. Anyway, let's move on. Thank you, Mr. Retro Angel. The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. The Four Agreements. I'll definitely look into that. R93, I'm sorry. R93. I'll definitely look into that. So this is Series X and it looks good. I mean, this is the resolution that we're clocking in for the Series X, Excuse me. So what do you guys think about the flight simulator? Does it bother you that it's not going to be native 4K now that you have seen what I showed you here? Does it bother you? You see, a lot of people out there, a lot of people out there don't understand how the scaling resolution works, how upscaling works. There's a pretty good number of people out there who don't understand that. All they know is the echo chamber of native 4K, native 4K. Upscale, it's not good. Native 4K, native 4K only, native 4K only. And they're just, remembering the echo chamber of native 4K, If it's not native 4K, I shouldn't even touch it, right? And, there's a lot of influences out there to blame for that, including Digital Foundry, to be honest. They kind of started this whole movement of these numbers up and down, resolutions and all that crap. But as you can see here, it's really not a big deal. I'll prove it again here. This game is not difficult at all. If you're flying the TBM 930. Wait a minute. So this is what I'm guessing Series X it's going to be rendering at. 2688 by 1512. Now let's go back to Series S again. Let's scale down to 1080. And let's see. Let's go back. Let's continue. Are you going to tell me that you can tell a difference? I guarantee you won't be able to tell a difference sitting 7 feet away from your TV. I guarantee you're not going to see that difference, bro. I'm telling you right now. You probably wouldn't know. You probably wouldn't know by watching this. So this is Series S? Yes, Series S. Now, if you want to use a magnifying glass like Digital Foundry does to see the jagged edged lines, well, I don't have a cure for that. Yeah, just go through a checklist. Make sure you trimmed your airplane. Trimming is important too. Trimming and flaps and your speed, You got to make sure that your speed it's consistent when landing and all that. But so this is Series S. Imagine that. Imagine that. Playing something like this on Series S. Would this bother you? How about we do this? Let's see what happens if we do this. How about we do this? Let's say we put some weather here. We adjust the weather a little bit here. Let's see. You know what's the let me tell you, good airplane. So let's mix it up a little bit here. Let's bring some clouds. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's see what we can do here. Put it scattered. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Let's try it like this. Okay, let's say there's a rain. We got a bunch of rain, lightning. Let's see what happens now. Participation. Let's bring that rain. Let's see how bad the rain is. Now this is S 1080p, right? Upscale to 4K, Series S. We're trying to mimic Series S. So let's see. You know what, R93? I said to somebody a couple of weeks ago, don't be surprised if on your Series X and your Series S, the flight simulator runs better than on your PC. But to be fair, there's an update, performance update coming up on July 27th, the same date that the console versions will be released. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's check this out. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see how it works now. No issues, no problem. Works fine. Hunky-dory. Now, I see some jagged-edged lines, like right here. Hold on. But that's okay. You know, it's not the end of the world. Like right here, you saw some jagged-edged lines. Like right here. Here, I'll show you. But that's okay. You know, we're not going to use Digital Foundry Zoom to do this. Let's look at the rain. But that's okay. You know? Remember, you paid $300 for this. You didn't pay $3,000, so it's okay. I know, I see those jagged-edged lines on the buildings. I know it's gonna bother some people, but come on, you know. You paid $300. Yeah, Project Scorpio. I still have Project Scorpio, by the way. I still have Project Scorpio, limited edition, from November 7th, 2017, with the invoice from Phil Spencer. I still have that invoice, and I still have the original packaging, where it says, thank you for being among the very first to pre-order this limited edition console. Head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, and then it also says down below, hello from Seattle. So I still have that. I still have that console. Look at this. This is not bad. For S, right? This is exactly what you're gonna see on the S version, and it's not bad, man. I'm okay with this, bro. I can clearly tell that I'm in San Francisco. This doesn't bother me. Let's check out the light. The lighting seems to be good. Let's go over here. Not bad. Let's adjust the weather a little bit. Let's bring a bunch of rain. Let's just make this a terrible rain. Terrible, terrible rain. Let's see how it is with the rain, with a lot of rain. Okay. Remember, we're still on the S version, so let's see how this looks. Oh, we're gonna crash! Oh, can I make it? Oh God. Let's see. Not bad. Yeah, I see the jagged edged lines, but it's still not bad. It's not bad. I can live with this. I can live with this. Okay, let's change the weather. Let's bring it back to normal. Let's bring it to clear skies. Let's bring it to normal. Uh-oh, we're gonna crash. Ah, well, it was gonna happen anyway. It was meant to happen. I guess we can go to New York City. Let's go to New York City. Let's check it out. Let's go to New York City and let's see how it is in New York. I'm still keeping an eye on that that hurricane. That hurricane. That thing can go either way, left, right, center. Oh yeah, people ask me, what do I think about the movie? The Tomorrow War. No, I'm not playing on a Series S. This is just me mimicking the scaling resolution that the Asobo development team have told us from the podcast. So we're just kind of mimicking and trying to mimic what's most likely going to look like on a Series S version, you know, with the scaling resolution of 1080p, lowering bunch of other graphical enhancements at 30 FPS locked. So that's the whole point here we were trying to bring about, you know. And I think when all the tests are being done, when finally the game gets released on July 27th, I think if you come back to this live stream, you're probably going to come back to very accurate representation of what I was trying to achieve, I think. So let's go to New York. And then we're going to change the airplane. We're going to use something smaller. Excuse me. We'll go with a Piper Arrow. I like Piper Arrow, dude. We'll go with this. Yeah, we're gonna do that right now. Actually, uh, we're gonna do that right now. Once we get to New York City, I'm just trying to find a good livery. We'll keep this livery. That's fine. That's fine. Maybe we'll go with this one. Okay, we'll go with this one for now. So let's go to the world map and let's go fly. Bum, 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 bum. It's probably gonna be. I'm gonna show you in a minute. It's going to be exactly what I'm showing you here. It's gonna be a mixture of both. It's gonna be a mixture of medium to high. Like a texture filtering will be reduced a little bit, so they can keep that steady 60 FPS, not 60 FPS, that steady 30 FPS locked frame rate. I liked it, but it does have some problems. But the way I'm looking at the film, it's a Chris Pratt movie. It's a popcorn Independence Day, July 4th weekend type of a movie. The movie shouldn't take itself seriously. And the movie, you know what? The movie doesn't take itself seriously, because that's what kind of movie it is. It's a movie that is really a popcorn entertainment, have few laughs, few scares, and those aliens, man, they look scary as fuck. They did a pretty good job on those aliens. So it's a movie that it doesn't take itself seriously, but according to IGN, the movie needs to take itself seriously, which is ridiculous. Can we just enjoy some popcorn entertainment, man? Like, it's a movie. Of course you cannot travel in future and come back in the past. It doesn't exist that we know of. It's a movie. It's just let's just have some fun. Why does every movie has to be taken seriously? It's a movie. I'm not going to take Black Widow seriously. I didn't take the Avengers seriously. Do you know why? Because the Avengers, it's a comic book. It's shouldn't take itself seriously. But according to IGN, what I find so odd about IGN, IGN gave Fast and the Furious 9 out of 10. And Fast and the Furious 9 doesn't take itself seriously. Fast and the Furious 9, it's not about street racing. It's not about illegal street racing like the first movie did. The first movie was all about introducing this culture of street racing in underground Los Angeles, Miami, other places. And that's what the first movie was all about. It was about introducing illegal street racing. That's what Rob Cohen, the first movie director, wanted to do, to show this culture of street racing. And then, because of success of the first movie, Universal and Vin Diesel, they took that franchise and just started milking it. And the audience are teenagers, teenagers and youngsters, and they're all watching that. So, but the adults like me and you, old farts, we laugh our ass off on that movie. But you know what? I don't take Fast and the Furious 9 seriously. So I watch that movie for entertainment. And that for the same reason that I watch Chris Pratt, The Tomorrow's War, for the same reason. Because I'm not taking those movies seriously, because they're not documentaries, okay? But according to IGN, we have double standards. Universal paid IGN to give good scores, I assume, and a Disney and Amazon didn't pay the IGN to give good scores. That's why they gave Loki a very low score on the episode 5. I enjoyed the episode 5 of Loki. It was great. I can't wait for the episode 6. I'm having fun watching that TV show. But according to IGN, double standards. Those who pay us more money will have better scores. Look, informative garbage news, there's a good reason. There's a pretty good reason why I call informative garbage news IGN. For a good reason. Because of a double standard reason. Yeah, those creatures are freaking out, man. They did a good job, man, on those creatures. All right, so this is what I was talking about. R93. You see right here? This is what I mean when I talk about Series S. I'm using a scaling resolution of 1080p because that's the kind of scaling resolution that developers from Asobo are going to be using on the flight simulator when it comes out July 27th. This is the output resolution. This is the output resolution on your television. Same output resolution that your console has to output in order for your TV to fit that resolution from that console. This is your source rendering resolution that's being upscaled to fit your TV screen to 4K. So that's what we mean when we say upscale, right? So that's why I'm pretending that this is Series S, because that's what the developer from the Asobo told me. I mean, didn't tell me, but told all of us on the podcast that the Series S version will be locked in 1080-30. As you can see, it's locked at 30. We're using terrain level of detail at 85, not at 100. Vector data, it's high. Buildings high. Trees high. Grass and bushes high. Object level of detail, it's set to 90. Anisotropic filtering set to 4. And texture supersampling set to 2. We also have decreased some contact shadows. We left them at medium. Windshield effects, left them at medium. Motion blur, left at medium. Lens correction, turned off. And glass cockpit refresh rate, left at medium. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm trying to mimic as if I'm the developer working for the Series S version, as I am catering for the Series S version through this PC. Does that make sense? Yeah, IGN, man, the joke. Same thing with the GameSpot, Garbage Spot. There's a pretty good reason why I have these names, People were like they thought I was being rude. I said, no, I wasn't being rude. I was just calling them what they are. Informative garbage news, IGN, and Garbage Spot, and I don't know why people gotta listen. Why do you have to watch the review? You have Amazon Prime. It's free. It's included. Enjoy the damn movie, bro. Enjoy the damn movie. Have fun. Open that beer or whatever, that bottle of something, and enjoy yourself, man. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. It's a movie. It's entertainment. And it's just the perfect timing for July 4th weekend. Have some fun, man. Enjoy it. It's not going to win any Oscars. It's not supposed to take itself seriously. It's entertainment. I guess we're not supposed to have entertainment, according to IGN's double standard. They gave the movie 3 out of 10. Really? 3 out of 10? Okay. 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 So what are you gonna give Black Widow? 4 out of 10? Anyway, so let's get back to the game. That's basically what we're doing here. So this is what I mean when I say Series S version. That's exactly what I mean, guys. When I say this is a Series S version. That's basically what I'm doing. Look at how many people there are on a JFK. Oh my lord. Imagine how many people are going to be here once we once this thing is released on July 27th. And look at this. This is not bad for Series S customization. I can easily play like this. I'm okay with this. Honestly, I have no issues with this. At 30 FPS with HDR and Dolby Vision, I'm just fine. Now, Series X will look a bit sharper because it's scaling to a higher resolution. This is stuck at 1080p. This is not scaling. This is locked 1080p. But for a Series S version, that's pretty darn good. That's the whole point here. That's the whole point I'm trying to make here. And there it is. It's John F. Kennedy, I think. Airport. We're going to make the approach over here. That looks like a fly, dude. Look at that. The design of that thing looks like a fly. Not bad, dude. Not bad at all. Let's adjust the... let's adjust the weather. Let's bring some sun. Bring some sun over here. Right? Here we go. Of course. Of course. I'm losing a control. Oh my god, what happened? I'm losing a control. As soon as I changed the weather, I started losing control. Oh, here we go. That's better. Yeah, I'm using a controller right now. There it is, right here. There it is, right there. There's my controller. Hard to believe, right? This is Series S. Right? This is what you're going to be looking at, Series S. Let's go to New York, Manhattan, downtown. Which would be... this way. Not bad. Oh yeah, servers are gonna go berserk, dude. Servers are gonna go ridiculous. And you don't need a 60 FPS. A lot of people were complaining about, you know, but dude, there's no 60 FPS. You don't need 60 FPS for this, man. It's just, I hope a lot of people see this live stream because they're going to realize that you don't need that 60 FPS, and it's not a big deal if it's not native 4K. It's not all about native 4K, you know. It's not a deal breaker. Out of all the people, I should know. When you sit 7 feet away from your TV, at least I should know. It's not a deal breaker. Now, 8K natively, I can see being a deal breaker if it's a big TV, and you got 33 million pixels on a big giant TV. I can see that being a deal breaker, but this is fine. You guys, when you put HDR on top of this, when you put Dolby Vision on top of this, oh, you're gonna be good, man. You're gonna be fine. There's some kind of a racetrack over here, dirt track. You're welcome, Jose, man. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you. That's what I try to do, man. I try to, that's what I did on my previous live stream. The Nexus, Scarlet Nexus, I've been streaming for 11 hours. And I went out of my way to explain the story of Scarlet Nexus. To explain, the characters and the mechanics of the game. And people started bitching and moaning. After me playing it for 11 hours, come on, dude, you can finish this boss. Instead of saying, dude, you've been streaming for 11 hours. I'm surprised that you're still even live streaming. I kind of got a little bit rubbed the wrong way, dude, by some people. Last stream I did it. On that stream, I felt like I wasn't appreciated. That I fucking was streaming, sorry for the language, for 11 hours. I was busting my ass for 11 hours, Went out of my way to explain the game, to explain the mechanics, and I was playing it on a Series S, and I was talking about that too, but people were like, oh, come on, man. Suck it up, man up, And I defeated the boss. All I needed to do was look at the X-ray vision. But I was so pissed off because I felt like I was underappreciated that I was doing this for 11 hours and like, fuck it, And then I quit. That's the live stream from last week, I think. From last Saturday. Was it 11 hours? And some people got rubbed. Some people got butthurt. Exactly. See, that's the thing, man. I don't even care about the money, dude. Like, I don't need you to subscribe. I don't need you to give me super chat, whatever, $1, $2. I don't care. But what rubbed me the wrong way was the fact that no one said, "Hey, dude, man, that's awesome, bro." There was only one guy, Daryl. He's my member, Daryl. Thank you, Daryl. Daryl came and says, "Hey, mate, 11 hours, bro. You're tired, man. You should definitely call it quits." And he was right. But at least he understood. He understood, hey, dude, you've been streaming for 11 hours, bro. Okay, time for you to, call it a day. Unless I was doing a charity, right? Like, doing a charity work or something for, save, whatever, something, help the kids, save the kids from leukemia and cancer, raise the money for cancer, to find a cure for cancer, like save the money to find a cure for cancer, to help the kids with leukemia and other things. Dude, I would have streamed 48 hours. I would have streamed 48 hours for that cause. I would have spent 48 hours, 2 days, non-stop, just to raise the money to help. If, like, St. Jude or one of these hospitals approached me and we were doing it for that charity, I would have easily done it for 48 hours. I would have used the Solid Snake voiceover, Naomi, Colonel. I would have done Joker. What happened? I would have done all these things. If it was for the right cause. If it's for the right cause, dude, I'll do 48 hours like that. So, but I wasn't. I was just doing it 11 hours and, yeah, man. And then they make me look like a bad guy. And then they go out there and say, oh, he's a villain. He's a Thanos. Yeah. Instead of saying, hey, dude, you're right, man. My bad. I don't mean to pressure you. You're absolutely right, dude. You tired. 11 hours, a long time. You're absolutely right, dude. Sorry. Yeah, people are selfish, man. Not all, not everybody. I don't want to put everybody in the same category. Not everybody. But selfish people do exist. There's no question about that. They do exist. They're out there. It's a July 4th. We need to go over here. Visit the... This is what you're going to expect to see on a Series S, guys. You don't realize that, right? This is what you're going to be looking at with Series S, and it's not bad. Not bad at all. We're going to switch back to Series X scaling resolution, which is 1500p. 2160, 1500. We're going to do that. Who's Terry Fox? Sorry, I don't know who that is, man. There we go, July 4th. Well, it's tomorrow, but still. There we go. Now, add Dolby Vision. Add Dolby Vision on top of this. And then you're going to have a really nice experience on your Series S. A lot of people are bugging me. Mr. Forky, what is wrong with you? Why are you so obsessed with Series S? What's with you in the Series S? Because it's a remarkable console. It's remarkable for the price and what's included inside and the compact size. Very portable. I am amazed by Series S, and so sue me, What can I tell you? Oh, Terry Fox, Canadian hero. Oh, cool. I'll have to Wikipedia him. I'll have to do some research on him. Okay, so let's switch to a let's switch to Series X scaling. Okay, we're gonna pretend that we're moving to a Series X scaling right now. Let's do that. He was a Canadian athlete. Ran across Canada to raise money for cancer research. Oh, he's a hero already. Absolutely, that's a hero right there, dude. Cheers. Cheers to Terry Fox and many like him who do that. Dude, those are the type of individuals I have utmost respect. Individuals who raise money for sick, especially kids who are diagnosed with the cancer and other things. I have utmost respect for individuals like that, because that shows me that they truly care about society, and they understand that in this society you cannot be selfish. You cannot just think about yourself. And I think one of the main reasons that we have issues and problems in today's 2021 society, not just here in America but other places, it's because of the selfishness. This selfishness, me, all about me. Me. Put the spotlight on me. Well, that's their problem. That's not my problem. Put the spotlight on me. What about me? This me movement. Me, all about me. Selfish me. It's what has crippled the societies. And that's why you have such a diversity. I'm all about me. I belong to this group. I belong to that group. That's my group. That's my people. That's my this. I am selfish. I'm about me. Blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? When the astronauts, whether it's the Russian astronauts, Japanese astronauts, or German astronauts, when they're out there looking down on the planet Earth, guess what? When they're looking down on the planet Earth from the International Space Station with various different agencies, European space agencies and others, guess what? They don't see any flags. They don't see any groups. They don't see any labels. They don't see any borders. They just see a planet. That's all they see. But we, on the Earth, on this flat, circular surface, circular surface around the globe, we don't look at it that way. We look at it as, this is my territory. This is my town. This is my place. Who are you? That's what has crippled society. That's the cancer that has crippled society. Bottom line. And you women are not alone. I'm going to let you women off the hook. You females, not going to be off the hook. You have become way too selfish. Way too selfish. I don't need a man. I got my money. They'll do anything for me. Then you got way too selfish. And that's not good either. You don't see it now, but you will realize that when you turn 60 and you don't look so hot. You don't look so hot. And nobody wants to bang you anymore. And nobody wants to give you any money anymore. You're going to realize, oops, I'm alone. What happened? Where's my simps? Where's everybody? That's right. So people who live in these selfish moments of themselves, they don't think about the future. They don't think about 10 years from now, 20 years from now. What's that going to lead to? What's that road's going to lead me to? They don't think about that stuff. They think about now. They think about this, the root of all evil, the money, the damn fucking money. The roots of all evil, man. And that's why we are in this fucked up situation, sorry for the language, that we're in. All right, so let's switch back to, but again, people don't want to hear the truth. People want to only hear what's pleasing to their ears. As Tommy Lee Jones once says, what's pleasing to their ears. Yeah, pleasing to your ears, that's fine. But that's not going to make you happy inside. All right, so let's scale to $26.15. This is what apparently Xbox Series X it's running at with a scale resolution. This is the scaled resolution that, according to Asobo Team, this is what the resolution is that they're running on. Scaled resolution. Well, from what I have heard, it's 11 gigabytes to download the application, which you can download right now. And that application, called the Flight Simulator app, will, on July 27th, download a hefty 90 gigabytes. From what I understand, it's going to be hefty 90 gigabytes, including 11 gigabytes that you have on that application. So you're looking at like 111 gigabytes. Now, that's just the base game. 111 gigabytes. Keep that in mind. On top of that 111 gigabytes, you have to take in consideration the handcrafted regions of Europe, North America, Southeast Asia, Japan, right? All the handcraft regions, UK, Australia, right? There's so many handcraft regions. That will add to additional 60 gigabytes. So you are now at 180 gigabytes or 179 gigabytes. So you're going to need 200 gigabytes free space. I'm not kidding. I'm telling you right now. And you're going to remember that I told you so. Come July 27th. Year of our Lord. July 27th. Circa July 27, 2021. I'm serious. That's what you're going to be getting. There's no way around that. It has to be that way. So anyway, let's scale to 2688, 1512. Now you're going to notice that the resolution is going to start sharpening up a little bit, because now we're scaling to a higher source. So let's go ahead and let's apply. And now you see that it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. It looks a bit sharper. Let's go to Manhattan. Oh, I've been a user of Game Pass since day one. I've been a Game Pass and Xbox Live user since 2003, whenever they opened the Xbox Live. So yeah, I've been a user of Game Pass since they started it. I've been a user of the Xbox Insider program since 2013. So when it comes to the Xbox, dude, I've been pretty much all hands-on all of that stuff. Now we're looking at Series X version. This is the Freedom Tower. This is where Twin Towers used to be. It doesn't look that bad. Doesn't look that bad at all. What do you guys think? Is it terrible? Is it unplayable? You know what's interesting? No matter what, I have noticed lately, no matter what, people will find something to complain about, man. There's just, it never ends with today's society. People, I think people are spoiled, man. I think that's what it is, man. It's hard for people. I have a feeling like people have a hard time appreciating anything these days, and it's just like complaints. 1440p. Well, it depends how you look at it. Depends on how you look at it. if you're running something at 120 FPS, variable refresh rate, 1440p, it's not that bad. For like let's say a 1440p monitor, if you got a 24-inch monitor, it's 1440p with 120 hertz refresh rate or a 244 hertz refresh rate, it's not a bad deal. But if you're talking about clarity, native 4K, it's always going to be the best of the best. But checkerboarding, scaling resolutions, those types of trickery can actually make it look good. It depends on how it's being implemented. Like, look at the Jedi Fallen Order. I know it's not a native 4K, but I also know that it's being utilized with the best possible textures and best possible rendering. However, I know that it's 1400p, 1440p, 2560 by 1440p. But it doesn't matter. It's being checkerboard nicely to 4K resolution with HDR, so therefore I'm not complaining about that. Having a native resolution of 4K or native resolution of 8K, having 8.3 million pixels natively displayed, it's always going to be the best possible source for your eyes to to appreciate on that TV. But it's not be all and all, and I think that's the whole point I'm trying to prove here. It's not all be all and all. It's not the end of the world. It's like you gotta have native 4K. I have watched many movies, upscaled to 4K, from 2K to 2K intermediate to 4K. I have watched many movies like that and it didn't bother me. But I can see how a lot of people get confused, how a lot of people get different echo chambers. This guy says this guy says that, Digital Foundry says this, Vincent Tio says that, this bloke over here says that, and you got like echo chamber in your brain trying to process, right? When in fact you can still enjoy your television with that certain resolution being upscaled. You can still enjoy this game with that certain resolution being upscaled, But these influences out there with all these numbers, 4K, 8K, 12K, what have you, 6K, will always have you think that you should never bother anything less than the native 4K, right? Or native 8K or native 6K, when in fact it's not true. So that's something that's always going to be there due to the internet, due to the echo chamber of internet, and then so much, misguided echo chamber of misinformation out there. What I mean by misinformation, I mean where they're making people believe, where people are being indoctrinated to believe that, hey, if I don't have a native 4K source resolution, that I shouldn't bother. That I shouldn't bother with this, that I shouldn't bother watching this, that I shouldn't bother playing this. The movie is not rendered in native 4K, it's only 2K. I'm not watching it. Then that means you're going to miss out on hundreds of movies, on hundreds of TV shows, because it doesn't have a native 4K. Native 4K, any native source is good, because that's what your TV supports. But it's not be all and end all. And this is coming from a guy who calls himself Mr. 4K Upscaler. And I can tell you that it's not all be all and end all. It's not the, that's so much important. It's nice to have it. It's nice to have a Bentley. It's nice to have a luxury house. It's nice to have a Bugatti. But Chevy Nova will still bring me from point A to point B. You know? But Bugatti will do it in a style. But Chevy Nova will get me from point A to point B. The same way Bugatti will. The only difference is I'll do it with style with Bugatti. With Chevy Nova, air condition might not work. I might have to roll down the window, but I'm still going to get to my location. You guys catch my drift? You guys catch my philosophy here? And this is why sometimes I get mad at Digital Foundry. Because Digital Foundry likes to do this. They like to exploit, you know, these ones and zeros and numbers, and then people get, especially the younger people who don't understand how it works, they get all caught up in all of that. 1.2 million of them. They get all caught up in all of that, and they start thinking that, oh my God, it's 1440p. I'm not going to play it. You know? This game, it's 1600p. I'm not touching it. You know? Excuse me. I'm burping. Why it's 1600p? It shouldn't be 1600p. I mean, look at this, for example. What's wrong with this? Is there anything wrong with this? It looks pretty real to me. Nothing wrong with this. And look at the resolution here. Look at the resolution. Can you tell a difference? Let me see if you can tell a difference. All right, I want you to look at this. It's actually a good test. All right, take a look at this. Like, let me change the weather. And I want you to look at this, and I want you to see if you can tell a difference. Hold on. Okay. All right. So, I'll keep it like this. And I want you to tell me if you can tell a difference. I'm going to go back and I'm going to change it to 1080p source resolution. And I want to see if you guys can tell a difference. Hold on. Let's see. Can you tell a difference? Are you going to be able to tell a difference between upscaled 1440p to 4K and 84K, 7 feet away from your television, 55-inch? I guarantee you, you're not going to be able to tell a difference unless I tell you which one's a native 4K, which one's not, from 7 feet away. I could do that test. I would love to do that test with people, just kind of to mess around with people, to test people, to see if it's a big deal, if it's a deal breaker, as they like to think. You see, that's what indoctrination does. I am not questioning Digital Foundry profession. They are accurate in giving you these numbers, but they're just numbers. What does that mean to you? Okay? What I'm asking you is, are you going to be able to tell a difference 7 feet away in your living room? I guarantee you, you won't. 100%. Unless I point it out. Unless I point certain things out. And I tell you, okay, this is native 4K. Here, let me show you this over here versus this over here. Let me show you this building and why it looks sharper over here, and this one doesn't look sharper as much. If I do that, if I point that out. But in reality, you sitting 7 feet away in your living room from your TV, no, you're not going to be able to tell a difference. You won't be able to tell a difference, my friend. Just like right here. You still think that we are on Series X at 26 by 1500. But this is 1080p source resolution. And you probably can tell. You can't. But is it a drastic difference? Is it a deal breaker? Is it something that I absolutely must have at that certain resolution? Of course not. So that was the whole point of this live stream. And it's already been 3 hours. I can't believe it. That's all I wanted to point out here, guys. You know, just to tell you that don't worry. You know, Series S is just fine. Nothing wrong with the console. Wait till you see the video of me doing a Series S Forza Horizon and how beautiful Forza Horizon looks. Forza Horizon 4. You're not going to believe it. You're going to have a hard time believing. And wait till I do a comparison between Forza Horizon 4, Series S versus Series X. And if I don't point it out, you won't be able to tell the difference. So, if you have Series S, and that's all you have, you got a Series S, dude, be happy with that console. It's a great console. You're still going to enjoy this on July 27th. Save your money, get yourself a Velocity controller. Enjoy it. Buy it. You know, the Turtle Beach Velocity comprehensive controller. Enjoy this game. Enjoy other games that are coming out. And have fun, man. You saved money. You only paid $300. You didn't pay $600, $500. That's just me. What I'm trying to show you here. You know? And let's see. Can you guys tell a difference if I go back and scale back to the Series X to 2688 1500? This is what the guy was saying on the podcast, that it fluctuates between 1400 1500. It fluctuates and sometimes goes up to 1600, but it stays around here, 2688 by 15. So let's see. Can you tell a difference? If I point certain things out side by side, you might be able to tell the difference. But sitting 7 feet away from a television, I guarantee you, you will have a difficult time spotting that difference. That was the whole point of this live stream, guys. You know, that's why I did this live stream. That's why I wanted to do it, just to showcase that, to show you that. Now, the video that you saw of me flying over Egypt, that's a different story. That's everything maxed out native 4K. That's everything maxed out. That's why it looks so damn good. But my computer is throttling to like 28 frames per second. It's screaming and begging for help. That's a different story. Okay? We're not talking about that. You know, that's a different story. We're talking about console. We're talking consoles here. We're not talking supercomputers. They're super expensive, you know. And what the console is doing here, what the console is going to be able to do, it's going to be pretty amazing. And you guys should be very happy about that. Especially for Series S. Now, Series X will look a little bit sharper, as it should, because it's scaling the resolution. It's not stuck at 1080p. It's scaling to 2688 by 1552. You know. But this looks fine to me. I'm okay with this. I really don't have any issues. I can sit in the back seat over here Look at New York City, you know. I have no problems, dude. It's all good. It's fine by me. Let's make another turn over here. And then I'm going to have to call it quits, guys. It's been but 3 hours. There's another guy, Scarecrow, flying very low. I really hope you guys enjoy this, you know. As much as I am trying to showcase this to you, trying to show it to you. Oh, they're already starting with the fireworks, huh? All right, so I'm going to pause it right here. So there you have it. Tomorrow's July 4th. Keep an eye on a video. I got a video coming up pretty soon regarding the Forza Horizon 4 on a Series S. And I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised how good it runs on Series S, man. You know, this console has really surprised me. Series S has totally surprised me big time, and can't wait to do some more tests on that console. So I'm out of here, guys. Stay safe. For those of you who live in the United States, happy 4th of July. Stay safe, be good. And I also got to keep an eye on this hurricane, see what the deal is with this Elsa hurricane. I also did a live stream on it earlier today. You guys can go check that out. I used the F-15 Striker Eagle, F-15E Striker Eagle, to go through the clouds and formation of that circulation of that Category 1 hurricane. It was located down south of Dominican Republic and also southwest of Puerto Rico. So we'll see where it goes. I think that what worries me is the hot waters. Once it goes out past Cuba onto that, hot waters down below the Keys into the Gulf of Mexico, I believe that's where the danger is. It's gonna gain that strength ridiculously because of the ridiculous temperatures, and that hot water is gonna be like a fuel, like a jet fuel, for that thing to strengthen and become stronger. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I hope it gives you some reassurance that don't worry. I think you're going to enjoy your Series S and your Series X come July 27th. I can't wait for the July 27th to do that comparison video to show you how it runs on Series X and how it runs on Series S. I really can't wait. And also to do some live streaming on there and some more tests and whatnot. So it's going to be a big day, July 27th. So, other than that, I gotta get going. Gene, sorry, man. Hello, but I gotta get going, brother. You know, I gotta get going. But thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you, Gene. You know, unless you have a quick question or something, maybe I can answer it right away before I go. But unfortunately, I gotta get going. It's been 3 hours, and I would suggest Gene to watch it from the beginning. Watch this live stream from the beginning, and everything will be explained as to what I was doing here, what I was trying to mimic in terms of scaling resolution to mimic the Series X and Series S version, based on what I have heard from developers and the answers they gave from the questions regarding Series X and Series S performance and resolution. But if you don't have any questions, I guess I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, Balagun, definitely should watch it from the beginning. I think it's gonna give you some reassurance on that you shouldn't worry about, you know, that it's not native 4K, that it's being scaled to 2600 by 1500, and it's scaling from 1400 to 1500 to 1600 resolution. And it's not being locked at the native 4K. It shouldn't bother you. Also, it shouldn't bother you that it's 1080p source scaled resolution, like the 30 FPS on the Series S, and then upscaled to 4K. But when you watch the beginning of this live stream, I think you're gonna realize that, hey, this is really not a big deal, and it shouldn't bother any kind of performance issues that I might have come July 27th. So all of that it's explained. Belagoon, watch it from the beginning, and you will realize that nothing to worry about. July 27th, if you have a Series S, be happy, man. You're going to be rocking and rolling for $300. Rocking and rolling. For those of you who have Series X, you're going to be rocking and rolling with a little bit sharper image, but not a big deal. Not a deal breaker. Okay, guys, so there you have it. I'm out. Happy 4th of July. Stay safe. And also keep an eye on my other video that's coming out tomorrow. I've got Forza Horizon 4 Series S. You guys need to check that out. Also, check out my PlayStation 5 Jedi Fallen Order that I did video. It's also pretty cool. Speaking of resolutions and the upscales, that right there is a good example. Jedi Fallen Order. All right, guys, I'm out. Be good. Stay safe. Happy 4th of July.